Okay, everyone, we are live. We're live also on YouTube, and we're still trying to figure out this whole thing, right? Like we're trying to still figure out which platform is best, how to crisscross platforms, how to make it everything accommodable and accessible for all of you out there. We are running a little late today, as usual, but we are here in the building, and we are going to, as always, on our Sunday session, we are going to cover raw food for foodies. My 426 page raw food is more of like an encyclopedia than just a regular recipe book. There's more than 100 pages of just information out there for everyone who is getting started on their journey and they want to, expand, for people who are continuing their journey. So thank you for joining. I'm Chef India Camille of Back to Live by Chef India. And today we are going to make a very quick, easy recipe. I believe this recipe is in the breakfast section because, breakfast used to be one of my favorite meals of all time. It's breakfast. Okay, let me see here. I gotta sift through my book. I gotta sift through my book to see where, and you know what, maybe I should mark it beforehand next time, right? But sometimes I like to show the beautifulness of this book, right? There's the cheeses, there's the snacks and cookies and crackers. All right, here is the breakfast items. So what we're going to make is we're going to make a variation of our, either our coconut yogurt. I'm in between doing coconut yogurt and doing a vanilla kind of pudding, right? Because we have India's berry coconut yogurt, and it calls for raspberries, but we have blueberries. All of the local raspberries, they're all done. So we have coconut, we have lemon juice, we have coconut meat, and we have dates, right? And then we also have, uh, yeah, we have like ice cream too. So I think I want to do like a mixture of both things. So the berry coconut yogurt, this is it right here. Very beautiful, very delicious. And the thing about it is I love my book, and sometimes though I am not able to get the exact recipes. I mean the exact ingredients, which for you too, you may not be able to get the exact ingredients, right? And this is for me. This is only for me, this yogurt. My husband does not like yogurt, and no clients right now are getting any yogurt. So I'm not wearing any gloves. Anyhow, as I was saying, um, yeah, breakfast and yogurt. So I don't know if I can't always find the ingredients, the specific exact ingredients that sometimes you can find, when you're in the States, right? And that's part of being off grid as well. Like we live off grid, we live in the rainforest. We are growing our food. We are, getting more self sustaining as time goes on. But right now, we do get what is available. So sometimes we can't find maple syrup, or sometimes we can't find dates, or sometimes we may not even be able to find coconut meat, right? But today, we are going to, like, the berry yogurt calls for raspberries. Hey, Miss Natasha in the house. In the house. Now, if you're live, drop a comment, drop a like, drop a subscribe. Make sure that you tune in, so you can get fresh alerts every time. I'm not really good at that. My forte is teaching you, right? But tune in, subscribe. That's how we keep going. All right. So we're gonna make this very quick. We're not gonna make this long. We have our fresh coconut meat here, and now this coconut meat, man, we are so blessed to be able to get it. You are able to get it in the States, but it is expensive. However, if you do find it, it's absolutely worth it, right? So this coconut meat is the in-between coconut meat. And I am going to make enough of this to last for a couple days, because we are meal planning, right? Like we don't always have time to always make something right away. So we want to make sure that we make enough of it so we could put it aside for the next 2 or 3 days, right? So we have about 3 and a half cups of our fresh coconut meat. Now, again, I'm trying to decide. Maybe you guys can help me pick a flavor. Should I do blueberry? Should I do vanilla? Or should I do? I was kind of thinking a pineapple, a pineapple yogurt. So tell me what you think, and while I figure out if I'm gonna, which one I'm gonna do. Okay. In the meantime, just because, just because it looks good, even though this is really for me, right? This is really for me. But for my clients, when we make this stuff, we definitely use gloves. All right. All right. So got this going on. Ugh, ugh, ugh. These gloves are so tight. These were the only gloves I could find in Belize, in all of Belize, believe it or not. All right. So I think I'm just gonna go with a vanilla because I really feel to have the blueberries. Maybe I'll do a light vanilla blueberry. How about that? Because I don't feel it to be on the yogurt side, on the cream side, but I also want that vanilla and I want just a little bit. So I have one carton of blueberries here, the small carton, which is probably about 1 cup. I'm just gonna use half a cup. I'm gonna use half that amount there. And we're gonna, I don't know if I really want it to be sour sour. So I don't know if I'm gonna use the lime, but we'll see. If you're gonna use the lime, the recipe in the book definitely calls for the lime. If you have the book, make sure we're gonna use 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract that is alcohol free. Else you're just drinking fumes. Okay. All right. And then I have some dates here. And since this is going to be vanilla vanilla blueberry, more like a more like a pudding, more like a breakfast pudding, or you can have a dessert. If you could decide you wanted to have it for dessert, you could too. Uh oh. Okay. All right. Okay, now I am going to add a pinch of sea salt, just a pinch, just to balance out a little bit of sweetness. It gives depth and flavor to it too. Now I did also add half a cup of water to this already. And the thing about this is you don't want to add too much water because remember it's a yogurt, so it's a thick yogurt, right? It's a thick yogurt. Now if you wanted to too, you could our pudding, if you wanted to, you could add a touch of probiotics to this if you have some gut issues and you wanted to do it probiotic. Hey, you can do that, and you can make sure that it's a complete yogurt, right? In taste, this is a yogurt in taste, right? Or a pudding in taste, right? So we're just gonna start it on low. All right, so it's super thick, but that's okay. We're gonna add a touch of lemon juice, just a touch. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. I don't want it to be too sour, and I'm gonna add some maple syrup to this. I would say, and I don't want it to be too sweet either, right? So I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon, right? And I'm also going to add some of our rainwater, but not too much. I would say about a third of a cup of our rainwater there. It's better to start with less than to start with more and then have a soupy mess, right? All right, so let's give this a spin. And I'm absolutely, absolutely glad that I did do that, that I did start with a little bit less water, because if I would have added any more water than what's here, it would have been more like a soup. And you can fix it. You just add more coconut meat, but then we're taking more time, and it takes more time, and then it gets to be like one of those things like, oh, I don't feel like making it. It's always an ordeal, right? So let's give this a little taste. Mmm. Mmm. I am gonna add another teaspoon or a tablespoon of some lemon juice up in there. It's actually very, very rich. It's very, very rich. It's really good. And I'm going to add just a few more of these blueberries. I want some blueberries for the top. If I had more blueberries, I would add all of these blueberries. So it would be 1 carton of blueberries and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a dash of sea salt, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 3 medjool dates, about 1 cup of water, gradually add it. And did I miss anything? 2 tablespoon plus a teaspoon of lemon juice. All right, let's give this a little taste here. A little flavoring here. Let's see what's going on. You see, this is very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's very simple. And you just put this in the refrigerator for up to 3 days, and you have your vanilla. It's more like a yogurt, actually. You could even freeze this and make a frozen yogurt. If you have an ice cream maker, or you have one of those machines. What are those? The Ninja ice cream dispenser. It's not ice cream maker. It's an ice cream dispenser. Yeah. I'm going to add just a little bit more maple syrup. Just a little bit more maple syrup. It's not too sweet. It definitely tastes like a yogurt. There's blueberry, there's vanilla, but it's not too sour either. So I'm very happy with it, and it's very rich. All right. Let's see here. How much vanilla did you add? We added 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That is alcohol-free and sugar-free. That's really good. That is divine. That's divine. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it real quick, since this is a quick and easy recipe. Because here's the thing. A lot of people are like, where do you get your protein from? Protein. And when I was pregnant, like, let me tell you, I was like, let me make sure I'm getting enough protein. So we need to make sure that, we feel secure in what we're eating and how much we're eating, and we're getting enough protein, or what people call protein. I call protein structural building amino acids. And these structural building amino acids, because everything in nature, once it comes from already put together, then it is protein. So everything you consume contains protein because it has the amino acids. Now, different amino acids do different things. And certain amino acids are structural building amino acids. And these are the amino acids that build, and also some of them also repair. So when we're talking about plant-based foods, sometimes I think it gets like, all right, so we're back on YouTube, and we are back on we're continuing Instagram here. So I have my papaya. I'm just going to add my papaya bowl. I'm also going to add some hemp seeds. I'm going to add some buckwheat groats, right? Because these are all going to be structural building amino acids, all going to be helpful in the structural building amino acids, right? So I am, right? And we have to also remember that buckwheat groats are actually fruits, right? I have some sunflower seeds here that I had soaked and dried. Now, trust me, when I'm making other people's bowl, I really don't use my hands. I use spoons and I use that, but this is for me, right? So we'll try to, it just takes extra time. We're going to put our blueberries in here. So I have a few blueberries, and then I also have some buckwheat groats right here. So I'm going to give it a nice little crunch, right? So we're going to do 1, 2 tablespoons of buckwheat groats. You can also sprout them yourself. And I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of our hemp seeds here, right? Now, hemp seeds per 2 tablespoons, you get about, let's see, 16 grams of structural building amino acids, also what people call protein, right? 16 grams for 2 tablespoons. And we're going to do about 3 tablespoons, right? And that's it. You know, I'm probably going to add some pineapple on top of this because I did want to have like a little bit of a citrus flavor, but I didn't want it to be too citrusy or too sour. So this is going to be a perfect contrast. This is going to be a perfect contrast to the kind of sweet, rich blueberry flavor, light blueberry flavor that we got going on, right? All right. And this is another reason why also I like to use gloves too, because I really don't like my hands to be getting all dirty and messy and gooky and wooky. But those gloves are a pain in the ass right now. Or a pain in the butt, excuse me. Woo-hoo. Pain in the butt. So I'm just gonna slice up some of this pineapple here, just a few pieces. I don't want it to take over because remember, pineapple is so strong. Right. All right, that's it. You know, that's my breakfast bowl. See here? Everybody see that? Isn't that delicious? It's gonna be, well, let me give it a taste. We have our blueberry vanilla yogurt bowl with our hemp seeds, our buckwheat groats, our papaya, our pineapple, and our fresh blueberries. And this right here, I'm really, wait a minute. Remember I said I wanted to add a little bit more maple syrup, but I never did. So I'm just going to add a little touch, just a touch. I don't like it too sweet. No, too sweet. Just a little touch to give it a little, let's give it a taste. Mmm. Mmm. This is my happy space. And this is going to be your happy space as well because this is really delicious. I hope you guys make it at home. I'll see you next Sunday. Make sure to tune in on YouTube if you want to watch the replay. The replay is not going to be available on Instagram, okay? Make sure you get this book. This will change your life. This is going to change your life. I promise you. I promise you. You know, I'm going on 50, baby. Right? And I don't feel that way. And I definitely know I don't look that way with the grace of the Most High and this raw vegan food. Get the book. And if you have the book, tune in next week. Tune in next week. Tell me, shoot me, an email with some of your requests, right? Some of your requests of what you want to make. I've been eating like this for 20 plus years. See you soon. Get the book. Talk about a fat, like this right here is like a fat hit, like a nice creamy, and then it has that citrus, the pineapple, which is sweet, but it's just a little bit of it, so it's not overpowering. And the crunchiness from the buckwheat groats and the sunflower seeds that have been sprouted and dried. We're talking about a mega bowl. This bowl, if I probably put in the numbers, has probably like 40 plus grams of what they call protein. Get the book.